It's the Kink Consultant podcast, where we're turning up the heat on all things kink and dating, relationships, and pop culture. So close the door, plug in your headphones, and let's get down to it. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Kink Consultant. I am here with Saniyyah, a curator for Make Love Not Porn. Welcome, Saniyyah.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here, and it's very nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you, too. This is a long time in the making. We started talking over 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh, is it really 2 months?
It's been 2 months, yeah. So one of your colleagues reached out, and we hopped on a call, and then this is how the world works sometimes. It takes 2 months. So I know that you're a curator for Make Love Not Porn, but let's start with what Make Love Not Porn is, for the viewers out there who aren't familiar.
Sure. So Make Love Not Porn is the first user-generated real-world sex platform. The best way that I could describe it is that it is your social media of sex, if you will.
Real sex.
Yeah, real sex. It's a really community-oriented space. Very community-oriented, where our Make Love Not Porn stars are definitely, of course, the stars of the platform,
yeah.
But also our members are really huge contributors and a huge part of what makes Make Love Not Porn Make Love Not Porn.
It does have a social media feel to it. I've fallen in love with couples. I'm like, can we be friends type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you feel that in the comments under the videos. It's, oh, I'm not the only person who has like, it's like a human crush on them. Oh, they're so real.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
Yeah,
so sweet. Myself and my colleagues will sometimes like fan out. We're like, oh my god, this couple, we love them so much. And like when we have our community like meet and greet type things or like community meetups on Zoom, we'll meet some of our Make Love Not Porn stars for the first time or have a chance like to talk to them face to face because everything's through email. Yeah. We're just like, oh my gosh, I just love them so much. They're just so sweet. They're so cool. We want to be friends with them for sure.
That's how I feel in some of the videos where they do like an introduction and I'm like, I fall in love with them there because I just see how they are as a couple, like a real life couple. I think that's how we're moving. And then we had reality TV and we got addicted to that. And then we got TikTok where everyone was being so fucking real.
Yeah.
And there was like zero editing, there was zero scripting. And I think that's the direction we've all gone in. And that's what you're getting from this. I'm getting to see the real life couple. I get backstory on how they ended up having this sex. And it's not contrived. The pizza delivery guy shows up. It's, oh, we were in the park today and we were a little adventurous and this is what happened. And then you get to see that. Yeah. I'm obsessed with it.
No, I'm so glad that you mentioned that because I think a lot of times something that I've come across being a curator, we receive all of the emails as well. There's like a customer support side of things as well. Sometimes people will be like, oh my gosh, like I saw this video and it reminded me of like a traditional porn site. Make Love Not Porn, we are pro-sex, pro-porn. Absolutely. Yeah. Whatever is your yum, we love it. But real world sex looks different for everybody. That could be sweet and gentle and sensual, or it could be a hard, kinky spanking, which is like, to some people might be associated with porn, but that's not necessarily the reality for everybody. That's somebody's everyday sex.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's my everyday sex.
Yeah.
The other thing is, with porn, I feel like it's the same theatrical positions all the time, and it's meant for visual. And with Make Love Not Porn, it's not exactly that. I've seen women do certain things. I'm like, oh, if that's feeling good for her, I need to try that. Do you know what I mean? It's like a certain arch in the back or something. And I know lots of men do that. Sometimes I feel like some porn is just made for men and their visuals. So like seeing a woman arch in a certain way, I'm like, oh, I need to try that next time.
That's really funny that you said that too, because there's actually a new couple that just submitted a couple of videos over the last month, and they have this deck of cards that has like different sex positions on it, and they try them. And I love watching their videos because it's like, we started off with this, they're very like eccentric in a really great fun way, but they're like, we started off doing sensual stretching and yoga together, and then we were like, we pulled from the deck of cards and it was like this, and then we like, oh, we're gonna try this out. We had to make sure we were prepared for it. So I'm like, I love this because then I'm like, okay, that's cool. I've never seen that done before.
The novelty of it.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you to be a curator then? What does a curator do?
Curators are basically what runs the site. So it's myself and 2 other people on the team, my colleagues, and we literally watch every single video from beginning to end. The process of submitting videos, for at least like through the curation team, is you submit your video, we see it in our queue, and we contact you. So this is another part of that community concept that Make Love Not Porn has, is that we email you, we like let you know that we got your video, we're reviewing it, and we have constant communication back and forth with you about making sure you have your IDs, making sure there's emails for everyone involved, and making sure that everything is legal, consensual, and real. Yeah, that's what curators do, on top of course community management with social media.
So you're with creators from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a personalized service. Do you feel like you know all of them? Do you get certain people yours, or do you share it with other curators?
It's like a balance of both. There's definitely some people where it's, okay, if this person's video comes in, usually I'll do it. Or if this other person's video comes in, my other colleague will do it. But we share it and spread it and we change it around, just so I think we all get a chance to see who's doing what.
If you go to the website, the curators are there listed. It's, here are our curators. I love that because it's, oh, this is who would want if I were to submit a video, which anybody can. Anyone can be a Make Love Not Porn star.
Yeah.
As long as they follow the guidelines, they're uploading real video. They just have to go to the site and fill out a form and upload.
Yeah, so the process is really easy. Of course, you just have to be 18, which is most important. Be 18, and you go to our website and you click on share, and it directs you straight to our submission form, and you can read through all of our guidelines, which we have pretty standard rules, I would say. Of course, there's some other sites that might allow other things, but for us, there's like pretty just like hard and fast rules, which is that everything is, like I said, legal, consensual, real, no animals, no children, no poop. And this is a really interesting thing that I actually got a question about the other day. Because it says no animals, someone was like, wait, my cat lives with me, and like sometimes they come into the shot and they're like, I was like, no, we literally have a tag on the website of like dogs of MLNP, cats of MLNP, like that, like interrupt sex or whatever. So I'm like, no, it's very real. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've dated people or gone somewhere and people are like, yeah, my dog like stays in the room.
But I have to ask, no poop. That's actually a personal boundary of mine. I don't do poop. I used to be a pro dom and my rule was like, no poop. You don't get to watch me poop. I'm not watching you poop. No poop.
Yeah.
Why does Make Love Not Porn have that rule?
That's a good question. I personally don't know. I think that's just a hard boundary for us.
I'm good with it. We're all allowed to have our boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm always just eternally curious, like, why? And what about golden showers?
Oh, we have lots of golden shower videos. So, yeah, we do. So, like I mentioned earlier, we have a bunch of different tags, and we call them we call it our lictionary. So they are our real world sex versions of like your stereotypical porn terms. So lick job is our term for like cunnilingus, and backdoor is like our term for anal. So we actually ended up getting so many different golden shower videos that we created a tag for it. Because, so many people were submitting videos and interested in it. Yeah.
Okay. I need to go check those out.
Yeah.
I'm not even a golden shower. And if I were a golden shower person, I would have zero problem admitting it. As we know, I talk about all my kinks and my favorite kinks. But I'm like, I want to see how real world people, that's a curiosity of mine. Because I always say, if you're interested in it, either you put down garbage bags or you go into the shower. I want to see how people do it in real life. And that's what I like about it too. It's like you really do get to see how people actually navigate these things.
For sure. Yeah, we've got some really interesting videos. Lots of outdoor ones.
I know.
If I had to say what was our like top thing on Make Love Not Porn, or like top tag, it's got to be outdoors.
It's really funny because I gravitate towards outdoor stuff as well. It's
interesting.
I think it's because I don't do it, so there's a novelty in that.
That's fair.
Oh, look at them being brave. I enjoy being voyeuristic. I am not as much an exhibitionist, probably because I get in my head, it makes me nervous, so watching other people enjoy it, like, serves both purposes for me.
I think that's another really awesome thing about Make Love Not Porn is that it is a place where you can go and it's, okay, I'm gonna get taken out of my comfort zone in a very safe environment, because everything, like I had mentioned before, we are non-judgmental. If it's your yum, we're here for it. Obviously, everybody has their boundaries and their likes and their dislikes, and you can filter and shift through all the videos on our site, either through the filtering or, like I mentioned, we have those lictionary tags where you can click on things that you already know you like or discover something new. And I really appreciate that Make Love Not Porn makes it easy for people to access those things.
Yeah, it really does. I was saying before, I don't watch a ton of traditional porn for a couple of reasons. I don't watch a ton of it because I'm really into spanking. That is my thing. I'm going to find a video that is specifically about spanking and just watch that. So I never really expanded into porn, but with Make Love Not Porn, I'm falling in love with these couples. And then I feel like I'm watching a love story and getting to see the whole thing. And it's a different experience.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool to see the connectedness that I think we have, obviously with being professional, but also having the care, because we're seeing our Make Love Not Porn stars in so many different lives and moments in life. We have had Make Love Not Porn stars that have gone through different relationships, who have shared their fertility journey and their pregnancy journey, people who have transitioned on Make Love Not Porn, like all sorts of stuff, name changes, everything.
Chills from that.
Yeah, it's important work, and it's very special that we get to share in these people's lives and be a part of their journey.
Yeah, honestly, now your comment about social media, I was like, yeah, I feel it. I feel like it is like social community. When you put it that way, and I'm like, wow, we're seeing people's entire lives then. Not just the sex, not just the, here's what I can show you on TikTok or Instagram because it's not banned. You actually get someone's entire life experience.
Yeah, what I think is even more so that makes it special, you're literally seeing people in the most intimate moments. Like, people are naked. Sometimes they're clothed, of course, in like their introductory videos, but yeah, you're seeing people in like vulnerable states. Like, people are naked, they're sharing things with you about their lives that are like very personal, and it's very special to be able to see this and be trusted with that information in this community.
That's amazing. I think that vulnerability is one of the most sacred things, and for people to be willing to share it like that is special too. Do you have favorite couples? Do you have, when you see a video come in, that you're like excited to catch up on their lives?
I don't know if I could say I have a favorite. I definitely am just like always really excited whenever we get a couple that we haven't seen doing something before. I think that's like where I would say is like my favorite thing. I definitely love all of our couples in their own way. Everybody's so cool, especially because everyone's in a different part of the world. And I think just like seeing how people live their lives.
I noticed that too. I'm watching people and I'm like, where's this accent from? I'm like, because I'm not the best at deciphering accents. I'm like, where are they from? Are they English or Australian? Which I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on. There's some people being like, how can you not tell the difference? I can't. I'm sorry. Addictive is the wrong word, but like the social side of it and getting to know the people is because it's so authentic.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, it's an authentic experience. Yeah. And that's novel. Now, even with the world of Instagram, they're not faking it. It's all real. And that's exciting.
That's something too that we like to mention a lot, with, especially when we get new Make Love Not Porn stars. A lot of people are like, what lighting should I use? What camera should I use? What editing software? And I'm like, you can just throw on your phone or whatever camera and forget it's there. And then edit it if you want. Don't edit it. People will love it regardless.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, it's mind-blowing, especially for people who, I always self-identify as someone who doesn't love porn because of the spanking fetish, just never really relating to any of the angles that they're showing or the story, because I very much want a real situation. Make Love Not Porn is very much love not porn. So you're watching every video that comes on, you and your group of curators.
Yes.
Every video. Is there anything that doesn't make the cut?
Yeah, we've definitely had a lot of things that don't make the cut. Sex looks different to everybody. So I think that something, which is why this is also like super nuanced. Whenever a video comes in and we watch it from beginning to end, so it's individual, right? So I get assigned to a video and I'm the only one who watches it. There are a few cases where sometimes I'm like, hey, I watched this video, but I'm not really sure if this would do well on the website. Now, it's pretty rare that this happens, where I might ask for a second opinion for the other curators to watch it. But usually what fixes that, or what makes it go through or doesn't pass, is how thorough the description is or the intro video is.
Okay.
There are some people who their real world sex is they just love to do like sensual touch. Okay. And yes, they're maybe naked, but there's no penetration. There's no necessarily like explicit sexual act that's happening. Some people might be like, that's just like a sensual massage or something. But to somebody, that's sexy and makes you want to maybe masturbate, or I don't know, turns you on. And as long as you're explaining to us in your description or your intro video, like why that's real world sex to you, it will go through. Videos that we don't allow to go through are usually videos that are like, this is a little too porn, or it looks very like inauthentic. It looks a little more staged.
Yeah.
Not to say that we don't have role play videos. We do have role play videos on Make Love Not Porn. It's again, just, are you explaining why that is real world sex to you? And is someone able to easily like identify that?
I like that threshold, because you're right. For some people, the that feather touch, possible sensual massage thing could be someone's entire turn on. And the act of not having penetrative sex is what makes them enjoy the video. But explaining that is important. Otherwise, it's just, what am I looking at right now?
Yes. Yeah. And another thing too, like I mentioned how we have a lot of people on Make Love Not Porn who share different parts of their lives. There are people who have different medical conditions where that is something that's not a possibility for them. We've had people on Make Love Not Porn and Make Love Not Porn stars who have like vaginismus and different things like that where they're like, penetration hurts. That's not what sex is for me, and I don't focus on that. So I think it's really important that when we are reviewing all of our videos that we make sure that we have a spectrum of not just like showcasing variety, but also being aware that people live different lives. They have different needs. And like I said, real world sex looks different for everybody.
It really does. I mean, for me, it's spanking. For other people, it might be that touch or sensual massage. Very true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say I'm super excited and having so much fun on the conversation?
Glad to hear
it. Because it's such an exciting website. And in some ways, I'm surprised. It feels Make Love Not Porn is the first group to do this or do it in this way. Do you have competitors?
There are definitely other websites that have this similar ethos of being real world or being realistic. And I think that obviously the more the merrier, which is also a shameless plug. That is one of our tags for threesomes and like more sums on our site. There's like this craving for like real anything.
Yes.
And especially in the porn world, in this like adult content world, people want it to be as real as possible. And I think that people are trying to recreate that where unfortunately sometimes it ends up still being like staged in a way where it's okay, it's real, but to a certain extent. So yeah, I'm sure there's a million different types of things that exist, or even people who that's like their type of content is like real world things. Our place in this world, or Make Love Not Porn's like place on the internet, is to be one, a safe space for people to talk about and share their real world sex, and then also to educate, which is partially how the Academy came about.
It's because the education piece is super important too. That sets Make Love Not Porn apart from a lot of different sites. So what can we expect from the Academy? And when can we expect the Academy?
Yeah, Love Not Porn Academy is going to be an aggregator hub for people who work to inform about sex. Sex educators, therapists, coaches, podcasters, authors, you name it, they're going to be on our site. And it's going to be an aggregator hub and a shop window for sexual health and wellness education. We're really excited about it. And it really came about because of the fact that Make Love Not Porn, we saw not only, even before Make Love Not Porn, we know that sex education is something that is highly needed in this country.
Oh gosh, I know. This is like a whole can of worms. Exactly. It's highly needed even for the safety of people. Like I could get on a soapbox right now of why it's so important and the negative effects I see from the lack of sex education in my work as a coach. Even I'm like, wow, education and open conversation about this during your teenage years would have solved so many things or kept people safe. So it's really education.
I know.
Will not stand on the soapbox. Just yes, I am really excited to hear that you're adding that in.
Yeah, we saw that it was needed just in general, but Make Love Not Porn became a space where people were learning from one another.
We are learning. I'm learning from Make Love Not Porn, and that's part of the reason I watch it. I'm getting something out of every single video.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's whether you were watching a video just because you're like, hey, I want to watch this video for entertainment or to masturbate, you end up learning something new.
Yeah.
And we realized, hey, this is a market that it's untapped, and also now in this political climate is unfortunately being just erased. And we were like, you know what? We need a space where folks of all ages, all genders, all identities are able to research and find information on sexual health and wellness stuff. And so that's how the Academy came about, because one, there was a need just in general, but also Make Love Not Porn became a space where people were coming to find information because it's real world sex and it's like real world bodies, and it's people are like, I want my child to see what this is, not like porn.
Yes.
Or I'm a person who has maybe like erectile dysfunction, or I've had issues with different things and I want to learn how to do this in sex. And they're like, how do I do that? And they were coming to Make Love Not Porn. And so we were like, you know what? I think Make Love Not Porn Academy needs to exist. And it does. It's soon to be. This year we're hoping to launch.
Okay. And I think you know this. I'm extremely passionate about educating about kink and safe kink. Is there room for kinksters on it?
Absolutely.
Okay, how would I become an educator? Is it like wait to be called, or can you apply?
We're actually still recruiting folks for not only Make Love Not Porn, so if you want to be a Make Love Not Porn star and have your real world sex videos on Make Love Not Porn, you absolutely can do that. We're recruiting people all the time, anytime. There's never going to be enough.
Okay.
So please do that. And then if you would like to be on Make Love Not Porn Academy, whether that's just showcasing your work or content, or even if you just want it to be a place like a directory where folks can find you for whatever your services might be, you can email me or reach out to us on the website, and we will set up some time to speak to you and see if it's a good fit, if you're interested, of course.
I'm going to put all of this in the show notes because I'm not going to make people type in their phone all
Yeah, I was like, there's so many, the email is very long. We have space for everyone on the Academy. Our main focus right now, of course, is under 18 sex education, but Make Love Not Porn Academy exists to educate folks from 0 to 100. That is our goal.
I don't know if you saw in the New York Times a few months ago, an article came out about young teenagers who are watching porn and then choking their girlfriends with zero idea of how to do it. People are getting hurt. Children are getting hurt because they're not getting any information. They're seeing something. No education exists for their age group, and then they don't know what to do with that except to try it.
Absolutely.
But there are really negative effects, because when we're talking about breath play, which is something people don't even want to teach on the internet because it's very delicate, there's so few places to go.
Yeah, and I think that's actually, that conversation in itself is very nuanced because, one, there's already shame around speaking about sex and sex education in general, but then when you add the elements of, there's like also kink and consent, and that's actually really a conversation that's based in consent, which we're not speaking about that enough. And I think a lot of times too, people associate consent education strictly with sex, when I'm like, no. So I've had many hats in my life. But I used to be a preschool teacher at one point. I've had conversations about consent with my 3 and 4-year-old students. These conversations can be age appropriate.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Kinkster, let's talk about pleasure. Not just mine, yours too. If you're enjoying this episode of the Kink Consultant, I need you to do me a little favor, and I promise it'll feel oh so good. Take a second and give this podcast a 5-star rating. Just imagine your finger sliding all over that 5th star, pressing down, giving it exactly the kind of attention it deserves. Yeah, that's it. And you know what happens when you do? I get all hot and bothered knowing you're out there, showing your appreciation. Plus, every time you leave a review, a naughty little brat somewhere gets that spanking they've been begging for. So be a good listener and tap that star, won't you? Thanks, love. Now let's get back to the fun.
Yeah.
The thing about that one is, I don't have kids, but I do feel bad for kids who are forced to like give grandma a hug, do this or that, because it makes you feel like, let me just swallow what I'm feeling right now to make somebody else happy. And I did that in my dating life too. It's, I don't want to first kiss. I don't want to kiss this guy, but he did just get me dinner. So should I?
Toxic cycle.
It's a toxic cycle. I know. And it's, when do you start to unlearn that?
Yeah, I'm glad you had mentioned that because I have a baby and she's going to be 1, but I literally was saying this same thing. I'm teaching her very early on that she's very firm in her boundaries already. She doesn't like something. No, that's it. If someone wants to pick her up or tries to pick her up and she's already, I don't want to be here. I'm like, okay, we're coming back. Yeah. I'm not going to try to make this person hold you. Like, I want for her to know that she's allowed to not want to do things and can say no and feel comfortable, because I think especially with kids, we don't give kids the credit they deserve. They are way smarter than we give kids credit for, and way more aware than we give them credit for.
They're just smaller humans.
Exactly. I always say that. That is like my go-to phrase whenever people talk about kids. I'm like, kids are just small humans. They're fully capable of having these conversations as long as they're age appropriate. And I think
understand it because they're having feelings.
Yes.
I'm big about feelings and they're valid. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We should never leave kids out of the conversation. And I think that's why the Academy is really important, because it's going to have a vast amount of topics, from abortion resources to consent to kink to anatomy to everything will be on there. And I think, especially with children, that's always such a touchy subject, because do I want my child to know these things? Do I want them to know this or not? And at the end of the day, we're like, even if you don't feel like it shouldn't happen. We want the information to at least be there so that there's something for them to refer to instead of searching for porn or just searching the endless space that is Google.
It's also about fostering that curiosity in people to learn more, especially younger people. There's such ease of access to porn, and I'm 100% for that. So you have a ton of different education plans for the site, for Academy in general. It's going to go in a lot of different directions. You're always open to receiving people to apply to be at the Academy, but also Make Love Not Porn stars.
Yeah.
How many new stars are submitting every day?
I would say on average, we're at least getting 5 to 6 new Make Love Not Porn stars every week.
Okay.
Just because we get a lot of videos.
You do get a lot of videos. There are thousands and thousands of videos on the site.
Over 4,500 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
There's a lot of real sex happening.
Yeah.
And people are recording it and putting it up there and explaining to us what we're about to watch and what it is. I love it.
Yeah, we get a ton of videos. I think we have our own predictions and like trends that we see where obviously it's like during the summer, like people are out more, they're having more sex. Or in the winter time, I don't know, this might rub some people the wrong way, but if you're like an astrology girly or whatever, we also are like during certain times of like lunar cycles and different things like retrograde or different things like that. We're like, oh, these people are having more sex. If you look at our like year in review, we also have which sign is like having the most sex on Make Love Not Porn and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm guessing it's Scorpios. Because
It was actually Taurus this last year.
No way. I cannot believe that.
Yeah, it was Taurus this last year.
What's your star sign?
I'm an Aries. Yeah, let's see. Last year and this year. Okay, yeah, so we did our 2024 Wrapped. So we don't do age range, right?
Okay,
like in our thing, we do generations. So millennials submitted the most videos last year at 67%, with Gen Z being right underneath that at 27%.
Okay.
Our most popular tag actually was passionate.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Other popular tags were more the merrier, which is like our threesome and moresome tag, blowjob, loving, intimate, yes, which is like our orgasms tag. And backdoor, which is our anal tag.
All of these make sense. I'm like not surprised by any of them, but passion's so I haven't gone specifically looking for passion, and now I want to.
Yeah, it's a surprise every time. I feel like you'll never know. We were the most popular in the U.S. The most popular state was Vermont, surprisingly, and the most popular city was London last year.
Wow, Vermont is so out there, but I guess with the ethos and the mission, yeah, go Vermont.
The countries that shared the most videos were the USA being number 1, Canada being number 2, and the Dominican Republic being number 3.
For most shares?
Yes.
Okay, so then...
We have a lot of Dominican Make Love Not Porn stars.
Oh,
a ton.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, okay.
They're definitely, a huge demographic, for sure.
Good to know.
And then, let's see. Yes, our sign that shared the most videos was Taurus.
Okay, shared the most.
Yes.
Okay.
Shared the most videos was Taurus. So Tauruses were having lots of sex last year.
Yes.
Followed by Scorpio. You're right.
Oh, yes. There we go.
Yes.
And I think it's honestly just, now that I understand it was shared, I would expect someone who'd be on top of their game. Like, a Taurus is going to be like, this is helpful information for someone I am going to pass this along. They're very practical about it. Whereas a Scorpio, I feel, is going to lead with, I just had great sex. Let me show somebody what I had great sex with.
Absolutely.
Or like, what I just masturbated and it was amazing. Let me show them what I looked at. You know?
Yes. And then Leo and Geminis were after that.
Do you ever get those like sextrology book? I have that.
I've never seen one of those. Oh, that's cool. Wait, I want that.
So I feel like, okay, I have that. But now I want it through the Make Love Not Porn lens. I want everything through the Make Love Not Porn lens now.
You gave me a really great idea.
Good. Astrology and sex. Because I care so much about sex. I want everyone having great sex. I want them enjoying and finding the sex that they want. And I feel like Make Love Not Porn shows people also that what they want exists out there.
That's what Make Love Not Porn wants. We want you all to have great sex, and we want you to watch great sex, and we want you to discover new things about yourself and learn things, and all through the lens of people sharing real world.
Yes. So. I love it. So, makelovenotporn.com or MLNP.tv. Those are the two ways to access the site. And I really feel it. If you watch enough videos, I'm going to warn you right now, you're going to think, I could do this.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's actually how a lot of people come to us.
Yes. Wait, I watched it. I feel like now I feel more confident in knowing other people's sex looks like my sex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what we want. We want you to see yourself in these spaces. We want you to, like I said, discover things about yourself because you're finding something new. And of course, find community, because a lot of people end up being like, oh my gosh, I didn't know anybody else was into this like I was, or I didn't know any other person did this thing, or was into this kink, or had that toy. We get people who ask about things in your videos also all the time, which is amazing. But that's so community oriented, and we love that.
Community is what is making up for that lack of sex education that we had, because we do have a group of people. We were even talking about this before recording. It's finding community that you trust and you can take their word for things is everything. And
absolutely.
I've talked about this on multiple podcast episodes, but when I moved to Vegas just less than 2 years ago, I've never had such a large percentage of my friend group be in the kink community, but I made all my friends through the community here, and it provided a way for me to make friends in a new city. And I just have a bunch of people who get me. It's a special feeling. And I see that in the Make Love Not Porn video comments. People who know the couples, they're excited to see their video. It feels, again, like a community where we're sharing everything, our sex lives, but also the backstory, which I cannot tell you enough how enjoyable it is. You have to check it out. Check it out. Watch a couple of videos. You're going to find your couple. That's what happened to me. I now have a couple who I'm like, what are they up to?
I'm curious, who are they?
I'm obsessed with Tabby and Monkey.
Oh my gosh.
I love their little explainer video at the beginning. I'm obsessed with them as a couple. I know it was her 30th birthday, sent me recently. We called the video Happy 30th Birthday because it was when we went on vacation and we filmed this video. That's and I'm so cute. I love you guys. And they had outdoor sex in a park. I'm just yes, you are who I aspire to be.
I love it. They are very sweet.
I also love how their sex is just, here we are in our room. That's not perfectly tailored. It's just real. Do you know what I mean? I'm that's what my bedroom looks like. That's what the couch I'm sitting on right now looks like. I think it's you see people you relate to and you're oh, I understand their life. And now I also understand their sex life. Yes. And that does something for me.
I love that. I'm so glad that you found them.
Are they a really popular couple? Is everyone finding them?
There's so many people who are just popular in general, but we also at Make Love Not Porn don't subscribe to the competition aspect of things. We always tell people, because they're how do I make more money? How do I show up more? The more videos you submit, the more likely you are to be watched, just because it shows up obviously in our different categories on the main page. And then also, while we do have a 3 video limit for Make Love Not Porn Stars, just so everybody gets a fair chance.
Yeah.
We have a 3 video a week limit per Make Love Not Porn Star.
That's really fair.
Yeah, but other than that, you can submit as many videos as you want. Yeah. And
so every month you could be submitting 12 videos. I would guess that they're uploading maybe more, because I've seen a lot of their videos.
Yeah, they do have a lot. They do have a lot of videos. I feel we have a lot of prolific Make Love Not Porn stars that just have a ton of videos because they're super enthusiastic. And then we also have a lot of Make Love Not Porn stars who have maybe one video they submitted one year, and then they came back and submitted a couple more, and then they left it and forgot it, and that's it. And that's okay too. If you maybe are hey, I just want to dip my toe in there, and you submit one video and that's it, we're totally okay with that. You are not obligated to share anything more than you're comfortable with.
Oh, I love that, because for some people it also might be a bucket list item to get that, to really put themselves out there and be I did it that one time and it felt really great, and that was my capacity.
Yeah. And something that I also really appreciate that we do at Make Love Not Porn is that we have different settings on our website where you can basically have your own level of privacy. So if you only want people on the website to see certain things, we have a setting for that. If you only want people that are subscribed and paying for something to see, that's also an option. And then we also have a setting where if someone were to just go onto the website and we're browsing, they could see your video, or they could see your profile. Yeah. But of course, obviously they would have to subscribe and pay to see the video.
So it's a lot of different comfort levels that you guys are really accommodating for.
One of the main things that we say for Make Love Not Porn Stars is that we want you to do whatever is comfortable for you, and your safety is our number one priority, and privacy.
That's a differentiator.
Yeah.
Safety and privacy being your number one priority for your Make Love Not Porn Stars. That's different, because I've talked to a lot of porn stars, and when I work in this job that I work in, I end up talking to a lot of people who have been taken advantage of, or just not had the best experience, have had their videos used in ways that they didn't want them used. Safety is a huge concern for me if I were to submit, which the more I watch, the more I'm yeah, maybe I should submit.
You should.
I know, I'm thinking about it now, because I don't know, it does have a community feel to it. And you're yeah, I want to be part of this community of people sharing real sex.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And it's, if you feel like you want to submit a video, but you're like, I don't want anybody to know what I look like, you can be wearing a mask. You can film from the neck down. Absolutely okay.
I've noticed that too. Yeah, there's so many options. I hope everyone has had a moment in their life where they're like, people need to see this. Yeah. This was so good. People need to witness this. And then Make Love Not Porn is giving us that opportunity.
Yeah. I think that if anyone is having like back and forth thoughts, do I want to share a video online? One of the things that we recommend is just for yourself. Record yourself having sex. Record yourself masturbating just for yourself. If you're ever feeling that itch and you're like, you know what, today's the day, go ahead and submit it. But if at the very least you don't get to that part, that's okay too. But just record yourself having sex or masturbating.
They are so right. I cannot recommend that advice enough. Just record yourself. And it can be by yourself. No one else ever has to know that you have a recording of yourself masturbating. It's worth watching.
Absolutely.
I say from experience. Like, you get to see things. Everyone immediately goes to fearful things of what they don't want to see, but there are things you don't even realize you're going to be excited to see. So go for it. Okay, when you're watching this content, are you in this mindset of, I'm at work, so I'm just watching it from an analytical, technical perspective, or there are times where you get excited by it too?
And it's actually really funny because my husband and I just talked about this. It's like it's a sterile process for me at this point.
Yeah.
Also, maybe because I just feel, I wouldn't say I'm desensitized to it, because there are definitely things that shocked me. And I have been shocked and surprised by certain videos because I'm just like, oh, I wasn't anticipating seeing that.
I didn't know this was coming up.
But I, being a sex educator, a former sex worker, and like someone who just is like very open and like out there about sex, it's very just, this is work. It's so like that. And then also, I think maybe because I like have this like relationship with a lot of the people on Make Love Not Porn, I don't see it in that way.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't be turned on by it. No.
But it makes sense. You're also viewing it. You have a job to do. You need to make sure, oh, this is the right thing for the site.
You're, as a normal viewer, someone is just, oh, they look really good and whatever. Not saying that I'm not like, oh, there's sometimes I'm like, wow, that lingerie looks really pretty, or oh my gosh, I've had that sex toy before. But I have to look for other things. Is there personal information in the shot? Yeah. Is a person who maybe wanted to be like a little bit private, maybe they have blurring over their face, is it fully covering them in every shot?
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm looking at those things.
The mental load of that definitely would take away, like, there would be no energy here. It would all be here being like, am I protecting people? There's a responsibility.
I'm like, are your kids in the picture? Do they want that? Because some people are like, oh, I don't mind whatever, that information's out there, but just making sure that these things that someone might not normally see is seen.
I know, because it makes real sense, because even in the Vegas community, when people throw parties at their house, sometimes they might remove all personal identification things, and I could see how that would so easily end up in a video if you're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Saniyyah, thank you so much for being here today. I've had a ton of fun. I want this conversation to continue. I'm already now a regular user of Make Love Not Porn, so I can go to the website, I can go to MLNP.tv. Mm-hmm. What is your Instagram handle?
Yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram at Make Love Not Porn.
You guys were able to get that handle?
We were.
Wow. And you're not flagged?
We've definitely had our fair share of flagging. Our account even got taken down at one point, and we got it back up.
Good for you. It's so difficult with that.
Oh, yeah. It's really bad.
I love that. That makes it easy. Instagram's Make Love Not Porn.
Yes.
Okay.
We're also Make Love Not Porn on YouTube.
Okay.
Make Love Not Porn 1. The number 1. On YouTube.
Important distinction.
Yeah, on there you can see our more suitable for work stuff. There's some like really personal, like behind the scenes stuff with Make Love Not Porn stars. There's some curator videos, some things from Cindy Gallup, our CEO and founder of Make Love Not Porn. And then you can also find us on X or Twitter, and then TikTok. But on TikTok, we are Make Love Not Porn, because we had to.
That's spot on branding though. Yeah. Well done, Make Love Not Porn, because that's exactly. If you asked me to guess what you were on TikTok, I would have said Make Love Not Porn. Yes.
Yeah, we had to.
You are on there. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Definitely check them out. And then I just want to give a final plug for the website, makelovenotporn.com, because even if this doesn't sound like it's for you, I want you to go check out, I think Cindy's TED Talk, or she is posted on there, but also the origins of the site, what the site used to look like is there, and just the difference is between porn and what Make Love Not Porn is doing is listed. And I think it's super important for us all to really pay attention to what the difference is in porn versus what real life sex is. So it's an educational thing that is 100% worth checking out. Even if porn is not your thing, go to the site.
Yeah, and that's our tagline. We are pro sex, pro porn, pro knowing the difference. We're all for it. We're all for it.
And that's the thing, know the difference. Ah, love it. Thank you so much for coming down to my room to record it. I very much appreciate it. I've had so much fun. And yeah, I think that this is going to be a great episode.
Thank you. No, thank you so much for having me. It's been great. This was a very natural conversation. Yeah. So I love that.
The passion was there.
Yes, I do love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky to get to have this job. I know a lot of people are like, you watch sex videos for a living? And I'm like, yeah, it's fun. And also it's something I'm passionate about as a sex educator and just someone who is just works to liberate people to be able to just unlearn the shame of being open and sexually free.
I know, because it's a liberation. Once you realize that every body is beautiful, including your own, and that it should be celebrated, that's a liberation in itself. And I think Make Love Not Porn helps people get there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love yourself. Love your body.
I know. If I could give one person if I could give everyone one gift, it would be love yourself.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with anyone who might find it interesting. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out. Email info@thekinkconsultant.com. Until next time, keep on kinking on.